If you're under the age of 18, the content of this video is not intended for you. Please stop watching now. Hey YouTube, it's Audrey, and I'm here to share with you my project for the May installment of the Crafty Collaboration 2026, which is hosted by Poetspice here on YouTube. In the description box below, I will have the links to the other participants, and I would encourage you to go visit all of them and gather all the inspiration that we have to offer. What we are doing is on the third Friday of every month this year, as we have done for the past few years, we put together projects using products that we have had at least 6 months, haven't used in 6 months, or in some cases never used at all. So this time I am going to feature Spellbinder's Weekender projects from the Weekender from May of last year. So I will show you what I used and then go into a little bit about the book and then show you the projects. So in the box last year, and the Weekender, in case you don't know, from Spellbinders is a virtual event. You get a kit box with supplies, and then they do classes virtually. So this one is from 2025. There is one, and I'll show you the picture of the box for the one that is coming up in a couple weeks that I just received my box for. So in last year's box, there was this pack of 4 water reactive inks. There were these gems, and I've used all of these here where it's blank at. I used this Deckside Dreams, I'm sorry for the glare, boat die. And then I used this Beyond the Door. And both of those dies are now available on the Spellbinders website unless they're sold out. But they originally were just part of the kit, and they released them after the kit. But this one is a great die, very versatile, can do a lot of things with it. And then here is the book from 2025. The theme was like an Italian coast, lemon. It had lemon, sunshine, flowers. Here is one example of using that die. Here's another card, and I did something similar. My card that I'm going to show you is a take on that. The one I did one of these similar last year. And there's that one. I made this card also last year. And then there's just a variety. And this is the card that I've made for this video. So here's my first card, which is the ship. Now with these cards, I just did the actual cards. I have not put sentiments on there yet. With this particular one, I am looking or thinking about using this set, and this set also came in the kit. So I'm thinking about saying using Wishing You a Day of Calm. Not totally sure what I'm going to do with it yet, so that's why I haven't put sentiments on. But as you can see, hopefully, this has a little bit of depth and dimension. There you go. I can see it better there. And there's a foam pad under here. But I pieced in the white pieces here. There is a piece of yellow under the window area. Lightly ink blended the background piece and cut these in layers. And I think it came out really nice. So that's the first one, and I'll put the sentiment either down here or up here, and then I will accent it with some pearl bubbles. So that's the first one. And the second one is here. And again, I have not put a sentiment on here yet, but it will go across here. This is where I used all the bling in the center of the flowers. There's lots of texture and layering here. For the background, what I did and what she did in the class, because they were running, several of the instructors were using the same color paper. They give you a color pack, but it's only so many sheets. And several of the instructors were using the same color. So the instructor for this one said, well, instead of using the cardstock, why don't we use a piece of white cardstock and then ink blend it, which we did. That yellow background is ink blended with that water reactive ink pack that I showed you in the yellow. And you probably can't see it because it's very subtle, but we also did water drops, and a lot of it's covered up too because I had more down here, but just put water drops on and dab the water off. So there are some lighter white spaces in this darker area down here. And then I just added ink blending to the leaves and to the flower edges subtly, because you could see some of the edges of the leaves are really dark. And actually they were all this color here, this lighter color, but I used some darker ink to darken up some of them for some depth and dimension. Also a little ink blending around the pots. And haven't finished the insides yet, but I am on a mission to do a lot of catching up with some of these virtual programs, because I have now just purchased the third, what am I trying to say? Sorry. The third weekender. This one is coming up the last weekend in May, I think the 29th and 30th. So just got this box this week. This is the Weekender 2026. And there are unboxings that are out there, but this one is Go Wild. There's some gorgeous things in here. There are a couple things. There's like a lizard, can't think of it, what it's called, chameleon dye in here I could do without. The rest is okay. So if you're interested, this is still on Spellbinders. But what I was saying is that I have been on a mission, or will be on a mission, to make these cards from these virtual events, because I have several that for whatever reason I have not been able to do them. I mean, I had the SCT one. If you see my girl Veronica, VLB Allen 1, she just recently did a recap of the SCT crop and create. Boy, I'm tired. Sorry, people. And she showed a recap of those cards, and I haven't had a chance to do those cards yet because of work, travel, etc., and other things just in life. But anyway, I'm rambling on now. These are the two cards I made, minus sentiments, but they will have sentiments eventually when I decide to use them. So make sure you check out everybody else's. Again, add comments, get inspiration, and just have a great and a very blessed day. Bye-bye.